March 31st, 1993 is a date that Hollywood and action movie fans worldwide would never forget.
Bruce Lee was a movie star who died young. Now his son Brandon is gone as well, fatally wounded while starring in a movie.
This is when Brandon Lee came to his untimely demise.
If I had a child, and then for some reason I weren't around to take care of my child, I would want whatever I had accomplished with my life to be of a benefit to him.
Leaving behind a loving fiancée and family members who were devastated by the incident.
Brandon is my family. So is Bruce. I have to know the truth.
Stay with us as we explore the not-so-long life, journey, and mystery around the tragic death of Brandon Lee, the beginning. It was a moment filled with sorrow as Bruce Lee's universal appeal transcended language barriers as the man won the hearts in his prime but departed too soon, leaving a void that could never be filled alongside the weight of expectations on his son. Equally blessed with good looks was staggering. Brandon Lee carried his father's passion for martial arts forward. With his exceptionally good looks and acting talent, this rising star was catching the attention of Hollywood with each project, and the world shockingly witnessed how the life of an anticipated hero can be cut short in the blink of an eye. He grew up knowing that he carried his father's legacy on his shoulders, and as the world suffered the loss of his iconic father too soon, he was determined to be there for the long haul. However, the universe had a different plan for him. Brandon was born in a household where movies, martial arts, and staying around celebrities were the norm. And growing up, he saw his father's struggles, popularity, and unfortunate sudden death, which is something that had been difficult for the family. He was in Hollywood's eyes from the very beginning, but the young chap created his own identity soon after his initial projects, as he was prepared for what he meant to do and had an academic background in filmmaking and acting, and was a trained martial artist too. Brandon started his acting career at the age of 21 in a 1986 Hong Kong movie called Legacy of Rage, starting with the leading roles that put a lot of pressure on him. But he proved his talent in his first project and got the Best Performer award at the Hong Kong Film Festival. He worked as a lead actor in many successful movies in the Hong Kong film industry and enjoyed his route to success, where he was offered his first American TV appearance, where he got the lead role in an episode named What's in the Name of the popular O'Hara series. Soon after that TV show, Brandon's acting journey in Hollywood started, but little did he know that this was part of an end as he became known for his roles in Rapid Fire and Showdown in Little Tokyo. He established his reputation as a serious actor who was making an impact. He got his first big break in Alex Proyas's The Crow, where he was playing the lead role of Eric, a musician who was brought back to life after being murdered alongside his fiancée in a dark gothic movie. Inspired by a comic, and throughout the movie, he was very excited and even assisted the fight directors in action sequences. Which one of his movies is your favorite? Let us know down in the comments below. The Accident. Almost all of the scenes involving Brandon were shot, and he displayed the best of his acting and martial arts skills in this film, due to which the director and producers of the movie aimed to establish this project to catapult Brandon in the eyes of the American audience. At this high point of his career, Brandon was not only following in his father's footsteps, but also carving his own path as a passionate performer. And almost all of the filming of scenes was over. Only one of the final sequences remained. It was the scene of Eric's murder, which was to be filmed on the unfortunate day of his demise. It was a usual day at the film set in Wilmington, and the hustle before the filming was on the sets. As the producer Jeff Most was sitting in his office talking to someone in finance on the phone, Brandon reached the building, and while passing by the producer's office, he waved at Jeff, who stopped talking for a moment, smiled at his movie's hero, and waved back. This was a usual greeting exchange they had done almost daily since the movie started, but both of them didn't know this would be the last wave that they would share. Shortly after that, Jeff was still in his office when he heard that Brandon got injured at the sets, and they rushed him to the emergency room. The movie star was bleeding heavily from a wound in his abdomen, and everyone was shocked as to how it happened, since there were no actual bullets allowed on the sets of the film. There was no way that Brandon could get hurt by a fake bullet, but he was. And this was unbelievable. Upon reaching New Hanover Regional Medical Center in Wilmington, North Carolina, Brandon was handed over to the doctors, who took him to the operating room. These were the most difficult 6 hours of Linda's, his mother's, life, and to her dismay, after 6 prolonged hours, doctors announced that the young star, who was just aged 28 at the time, was dead. What do you think happened? Drop your answers down in the comments below. Cause of death. There was a mystery around Brandon's death, just like his father, and people and the media were coming up with different theories that might have led to his death. The sequence of Eric's death was to be filmed on that day, and in that scene, Eric returns to his apartment at night to find out that there were people in the apartment who raped and murdered his fiancée and, upon confrontation, shot Eric too. The weapon, a Magnum revolver, used in this sequence was real, but the rubber bullets are usually used during shooting scenes in the movies. As Brandon enters the room, Michael Massey, his co-star in the scene, shoots at him, and he fell down on the floor backward. This was something that was strange, as he was supposed to fall forward as they discussed the scene. And given this, the director cut the scene, but Brandon doesn't move. What do you think went wrong here? Let us know in the comments below. Initially, they thought Brandon was still acting or pulling a joke on them. But Jeff Imada, the person who felt something was wrong with Brandon, was the first to go over to him. He shook him to check if he might have gotten dizzy by falling and hitting his head, but saw that Brandon was unconscious and breathing heavily. They checked his pulse, which was normal but suddenly dropped and disappeared. Everyone on the set panicked and rushed him to the hospital. Upon investigation, it was revealed that the Magnum revolver used in the scene was previously used in another film's shooting, and they used specially crafted metal bullets that were real, but the gunpowder in them was removed. One of the bullets was jammed within the weapon, and when Massey shot Brandon, the metal head of the real bullet lodged into the fake bullet and hit Brandon in the stomach, rupturing a major artery, and that Brandon couldn't survive and died on the operating table. After death, Brandon's death was ruled as an accident, but it sparked all kinds of rumors surrounding the circumstances and speculation around his death and similarities with his father's sudden demise. According to the police investigation report, negligence and a lack of proper safety protocols on the part of the movie crew were a factor. Not following the safety protocols led to the fatal shooting and cost of the young star's life. The gun was not checked properly and handed over to the actors and became a deadly weapon. Some speculated about foul play, given the eerily similarity to his father's mysterious death. There is also a group of spectators that associate the unfortunate incident with the Lee's curse. Yes, there is a theory that associates the bad fortune of the men in the Lee family, though most people don't believe in such stuff. We can't neglect, though, the fact that the Lee family was quite superstitious. There was news that Bruce Lee's mother used to dress him like a girl to avoid the evil eye. However, there was no evidence to support this theory. Experts concluded that a tragic combination of human error and oversight caused the accident. The incident highlighted the need for stricter safety measures on film sets to prevent such tragedies. In the end, Brandon's death was a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly life can change and the importance of following protocols in every aspect of filming. After all, rules are there for a reason. What was your favorite Brandon Lee movie? Let us know down in the comments below. Following Brandon Lee's untimely, tragic, and sudden death, the film industry and fans worldwide were devastated. Everyone felt deprived. Even Bruce Lee's fans were looking forward to him carrying the name of his father to entertain them for a long time with combat art forms on the screen. They were expecting him to resolve the sudden trauma to some extent, which they had suffered hearing about his death, but Brandon's fate left his fans to deal with another and even bigger trauma. His fiancée, Liza Hutton, and the family were left to deal with the sudden loss. Their wedding was scheduled after the completion of the film. All of these circumstances add more sorrow to the already tragic death of Brandon Lee. After a few months, in August 1993, Brandon's mother, Linda Lee Cadwell, filed a death lawsuit against the filmmakers. The lawsuit for alleged negligence on their part was settled 2 months later for an undisclosed amount. The Crow was completed using stunt doubles and digital effects. It was dedicated to Brandon and Eliza. The film's release became a tribute to his talent and potential. Brandon was laid to rest beside his father Bruce Lee in Seattle's Lakeview Cemetery, a site that has since become a pilgrimage destination for fans. The tragedy led to significant changes in safety protocols on film sets, aiming to prevent such accidents from ever happening again. Brandon Lee's legacy endures through his films and the lasting impact he made in his short but memorable career. In August 2024, a reinvention of The Crow will be released to honor the works of James O'Barr, the original writer of the series. After 30 years, it reminds us of Brandon Lee, how good he was, and that he was lost too soon. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know who you want us to cover next.